And here's the great big old tower. See you later. It's crumbling. Hello, this is Carrie O'Donnell from Tarot Soul Writer. If you would like to learn more about what I can offer you, please go to my website, tarotsoulwriter.com. And if you want to join my Tarot Soul Writing classes, please go to book a Tarot Soul Writing class. You just click that link at the top of the page. I have a number of topics that are still available, and I would love to have you be part of our group. Spilling the tea didn't happen this week. Schedules were all ajar, and we just couldn't connect. So we'll try that again at another time. I have taken your questions that I asked you to post on my community board. I have them all written down, and I'm ready to go through them. So let's look at some questions. All right. Can you read on the astronauts stuck in space on the shuttle? Will they be able to get them down? So it looks like the astronauts are stuck because of a problem with their space vehicle. And I believe Boeing was in charge of that vehicle, and they have to dock at the International Space Station, and they could be stuck there for up to a year. So the question is, can we get them back down to Earth? So let's take a look. Okay, so the answer is yes. We are going to get the astronauts back down to Earth. I will say that there seems to be some secrets underneath the situation. I don't know if these are military secrets that we're not privy to because of the nature of the mission. I don't know if that's what I'm looking at, but I do get that there are some sort of secrets. They're trying to find some balance here with the situation. They're trying to figure it out. I'm not really sure what the problem was, but it's so weird. I get the solution is the treadmill in the hole. So going around and around to, the hole could be like, let's keep going back around to a literal hole or something we may have missed. But there is some sense that there's a team working the problem is what I'm getting. Here's my 5 of Swords reverse. That's traditionally my repairing card. So we are going to repair the situation. Someone is taking a leadership role here with the King of Wands. It's particularly a male. I don't know if this is someone who's part of the mission or someone who is back down on Earth working the problem, but someone's going to take control. And here again, we have secrets with money. Secrets with money, security, and safety. This has something to do with Boeing for entertainment purposes only. And I feel like there are many layers to this situation. There's a lot of fear about what may come out. And I also get that with the speaking card. Okay, let's be really careful about how we talk about this situation. But ultimately, the answer is yes, we're going to get them down. Hello, will Richmond, British Columbia, Canada have a major earthquake anytime soon or any major catastrophe? All right, let's take a look. So I'm getting an interesting answer. For the most part, underneath the situation, I have the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups and the Fool. Seems like some really good energy, a sense that you can move forward and look at the possibilities, focus on abundance and good news. There doesn't seem to be much as far as a major catastrophe in the short term. When I move out a little bit more, I do get my 7 of Wands reverse, which can figuratively mean not being stable or not having good footing, to maybe make sure you're protected. And the Magician is reverse, which is also an unstable energy You had asked about a major earthquake. This doesn't feel major to me, but there could be some smaller quakes that can do a little bit of structural damage. I don't know what that would be on the Richter scale for your area. It really depends on how buildings are built in your area. I have no idea, but you might experience some limited seismic activity in that area. Nothing that's coming across to me as catastrophic. Ironically enough, they're saying if you're going to worry about anything in Richmond, British Columbia, it has something to do with truth being inverted and leadership. There is some hidden truth, and it has to do with money, hidden money. You had mentioned a major catastrophe. You didn't necessarily specify natural. They're actually saying, I wouldn't worry about the earthquakes, but I would worry about what's going on with money in your area, corruption. Again, for entertainment purposes only. What do I know? I'm just reading the cards, but you might want to watch out for that and just make sure your money is protected. I think that's what Richmond probably has to worry about. Could you read on one of the biggest behind the scenes players of them all for the far right? Blackrock. The top 3 economies in the world are the United States, China, and Blackrock Wealth Management. I was actually shocked because I was like, Blackrock? What's Blackrock? So I looked on Wikipedia, and I will say it is just basically everything we can think of as far as trading and wealth seems to be accumulated in this one entity, wealth management entity. It's crazy. Of course, I knew that wealth was concentrated that way, but this had been under our noses all the time. I just personally have never heard of BlackRock. So the question here is not specific. It just says, could you read on? You didn't ask me what I should ask about BlackRock. Since you mentioned the far right, I'm just going to ask, how is BlackRock connected to the far right? I'm just going to start this by saying this is for entertainment purposes only. The first things that I'm getting is they are manipulating emotions with the far right. They're using their wealth and their power with the far right to help manipulate emotions. And they're particularly connected to a particular man. The King of Pentacles reversed is a corrupt man, or a man who's corrupted by money. And the Three of Swords is reversed here, which can mean trying to heal after a loss. What I'm getting here is lately they could have been connected to manipulating emotions around a king who is corrupt with money to get him back. I'll let you fill in the blanks as to who that is. The interesting thing is that this way they may have been connected to the right, they seem to be having second thoughts. I have them here causing little shakeups. This could be economically, this could be politically, but they're a part of creating chaos with the Tower reversed. But as of late, they're not feeling successful. Their whole goal is for financial success and power. And these little shakeups, I feel, have been more lately towards them, wealth management, that they're not feeling as secure with their former plan. However, I feel they do have a very strong connection to the far right. They're in bed with them. There's a long maze of ins and outs as to how they are connected to the far right. I think it would be very difficult to connect how they are specifically connected to the far right because they're so large and there are so many twists and turns, but they are the swamp. So when you hear, let's clear the swamp, I mean, they are the swamp. And they are the river, the lifeblood financially for the far right. Again, for entertainment purposes only. The interesting thing about that reading is that they've been having second thoughts about how they've been doing this, why they're doing it, for whom. So there are some changes here. There have been a few changes in their perspective. But overall, not feeling very comfortable in this energy. It just doesn't feel good to me. But to be honest, any entity that has so much power and wealth, it can't, it's human nature. It's too much. It's not going to be good. All right. It's only going to develop a desire and a taste for more money and more power. And that's the overall feeling I'm getting with Blackrock. My son is stationed on a U.S. Navy ship in Japan. My question is, why are the Chinese warships chasing them? So first of all, please thank you to your son for his service. Let's take a look at what's going on here with China. Why are China warships chasing the U.S. Navy ships? Overall, the world is upside down. Something's not complete for China. China feels like their position in the world is not complete or has been taken from them or something to that effect. The government here is trying to stand up for itself, trying to defend. And what are they trying to defend? The Four of Wands, which you can even see at the bottom. Maybe you can't, but it says home. They're trying to defend their home, what they feel is their territory, what they feel is theirs. I'm not saying it is theirs. I'm just saying that's how they feel. And a lot of this is coming from feeling their position or power in the world is less than what they expect it to be. Some of the other cards to give a little bit more information is my sun card is reversed on the ocean, the water with the blue, which makes me feel like this is on the down low. I think you had asked as part of this question if it had reached the papers yet. I'm not really sure if it has, but I feel like China's not making a big spectacle out of it. And I'm getting for entertainment purposes only and cold case. That makes me feel like they're not too serious about igniting an actual conflict. I think this is more about intimidation than anything else, to make a point. There is a war card here, but there is a broken heart because of it. This could be a war that is thwarted, like maybe they want Taiwan, for example, and that isn't working out to their favor. It could be the Ukraine war. Maybe that didn't work out. Maybe there's something I don't know about that represents this, but there is some sort of heartache or loss because either of a war or an attempted war, their plans have turned to dust and they need to make a new plan. The love potion is here, which makes me feel, and I know this sounds crazy, but it makes me feel they really want to negotiate a deal or they want to get some favor or something to that effect, respect. It's very interesting. It's like a little kid who throws a tantrum, but what they really want, because they're hurt and their plans didn't work out, what they really want is acknowledgement. I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like I'm dealing with that kind of energy. So I guess in short, they are feeling that a lot of their plans, as far as their position in the world, has not come to fruition. They're acting out. They're trying to get our attention. They're trying to express their anger and their displeasure, and they're doing that through intimidation. And I think that's what's going on there. Will the island of Cyprus be drawn into the widening Middle East conflict, or will it be safe? Let's take a look. They are between a rock and a hard place. You got the Eight of Swords here, a sense of being trapped and limited, or in the spider's web, as you see here. I'm trapped. This card is about being trapped. They are going to find some sort of balance and peace in this situation. They are going to maintain their home. This is good energy. This is celebration. They seem to not be drawn into the conflict. I do get a man, a corrupt man with the money. And I also get the magician reverse, which is dark magic and manipulation. There is a strong man who may be manipulating this island financially. They're getting something out of this island. Maybe it's something financial, but overall, there's happiness here and a sense of peace. So they are really struggling with being manipulated. They're going to find some happy medium here. It's almost like playing both sides. I hate to say that. It's kind of like playing both sides, but it's going to help them to maintain peace. They're going to stay neutral. And that's what I'm getting there. I think they're going to be okay. Will you look into the Ukraine offensive into Russia? Will they be taking more land from the Russians? Will they use land taken to get back their own territory that Russia occupies currently? Let's look into this situation at the Ukraine-Russian border. Will they be taking more land from the Russians? I feel no. I think that there might be some money problems with that, or they need more money to get more military equipment, possibly more aid. I will say, as far as taking the land, this is a surprise to many people. They're pretty happy about this idea. They're focusing on the future. But the working card is reversed. This is a financial card. As far as steps to take more land, this would indicate no, that what they've done so far is part of the plan and it's going to be good enough. If we took more land, would it be worth it? Will it be worth our efforts? There's a lot of strategy that's happening here. So I would say no, they're not going to take more. And the reason they're not going to take more is because there's a lot of mourning in Russia right now. There's a lot of grief, a lot of heartache. There's going to be an offer, some sort of offer here for parties to talk. They want to look to the future. And I believe Ukraine is looking to other foreign countries for money. Again, we're getting money. The coffers are drained. The cup is drained here. They don't have many resources. We're looking for more help here. But Russia is coming to the table. You got both of these things happening simultaneously. But what they've done so far is putting a Band-Aid on their issue. They're flipping the script in this war by using their creativity. So I think what I'm getting here, especially with the money cards being reversed, like we didn't get the resources, for example, from the United States that we needed. We need more. We need more from NATO. And they are bringing Russia to their knees a little bit here because the people are very, very upset. And they are going to flip the script with what they've done so far with their creativity. I don't think that they're going to have to do much more. My gut is saying they either already have some aid or we're getting aid to them in the future, because I'm getting the answer that they don't need to take any more land to flip this script. What they've done will be enough. Is Fox News in cahoots with Putin? And if so, will it be exposed? Let's take a look. The answer is not specific to Putin. So this is for entertainment purposes only. I get indirect connections with Putin situations, with Russian situations, but not directly with Putin. What I get is that they have looked for support from foreign donors. And there was some agreement that had something to do with the Ukraine war. And there might have been a possible financial gain to them. And they were dancing. Like they were dancing in the club about this. They were like, woohoo, we're getting some extra dough. If all we have to do is be on the side of Russia against Ukraine. So there's some propaganda situation, I believe, with foreign entities, foreign money. But it doesn't say specifically Putin. We know that there is that maze. There is a huge maze that makes it difficult to connect money specifically to a person like Putin, like Trump. But there is some evidence of taking foreign money. And what I have here is, as of late, the train, the Trump train, maybe, the far right train, the Russian train, the Putin train. Well, it's not chugging along to success, okay? They have not been successful. The Knight of Swords is reverse. This can be a cancellation card for me, a postponement, but I'm getting cancellation. Like, people aren't watching Fox News anymore. They're canceling. They don't want to hear this stuff anymore. We've had some changes. The Emperor is reversed. That could be representative of Trump not being very strong. It could be Putin, who's not very strong. We have the King of Cups is reversed. That's Biden. That's the Biden card. Biden is no longer in the election. These are all things that they had staked their story on. And now the Eight of Swords is reversed. We got to get out of these entanglements. The emperors are weak and Biden's not in the race. Yikes. We got to get these spider webs off of ourselves, right? We got to make sure that we have no residue. They are exploring new options for themselves at Fox News. And the egg, everything is very fragile. They have a new beginning kind of planned out in their mind, but it's a very fragile beginning. They're not saying here in the cards that they will be exposed. I feel like they're trying to scramble. What they are showing me is there's a scramble here to cover their tracks, to be involved with different people, to change their story. Since they're not showing me that they will be exposed, it's very possible that in the short term, they're not exposing them like we wish. It's like the last time when there were charges against them and then they settled and they paid a big fine. It could be something along those lines where it's just covered up and we move on to a new story and a new line of bullshit. And there we go. That will be Fox News. That's what they do. Will MTG lose her seat in Congress in November? Fingers crossed. Let's see. Right now, I'm getting that she might just squeak by. So we'll keep looking at this. Hopefully this changes, energy changes. But right now I'm getting the outcome being Six of Wands, which is success, victory, and winning. The Five of Pentacles is reversed. This is like losing everything, losing money, losses big time, but it's reversed. It's like I almost lost, but I'm squeaking by. There's a lot of dysfunction in the house here with the Ten of Cups reversed. This is my dysfunctional family card. She's coming from the Republican Party and the house that's highly dysfunctional. But somehow there's some faction here that like she just squeaks by. It might be just because she's from a district that's just so ruby red and so radicalized. She may just be one of the people who makes it through, but I don't want you to worry because there is some sense that we have the rise of the feminine here underneath the situation. Balance is coming. And the Page of Pentacles, young people who coming forward, and they are part of what's bringing balance. It almost is like it doesn't matter. For example, she might be taken out by some legal issues. It can also mean that she really has no power. She has no voice. She doesn't have the same platform that she did in the past. She's, in a sense, neutered, even if she gets her seat. So unfortunately, I do feel that she might squeak by as of now, but don't worry about it. Are you seeing the possibility of charges this month, the month of August, for some members of Congress? I feel no, not this month. However, the heat is on for people who may have been informed that they've been investigated. I'm getting the party is over, 3 of Cups reversed. Surprise, 2 of Wands reversed. I'm looking at a limited future right here. The 8 of Pentacles is reversed. There's work interruptions. And I'm also getting the 10 of Wands, lots of stress, lots of burdens that they're suddenly feeling. People who could possibly be charged, they know, okay, they know they're very emotionally unbalanced right now. And the 10 of Pentacles, their legacy, their fortunes, their security in Congress is reversed. All right. So they know with Kamala and Walz doing so well, they know they're going to lose. They are feeling the burden. They are emotional. They know that the party is over. The gig, it's up. The party is over. They're going down. They know it.
It's game over.
I asked, well, when would we start seeing charges for some members of Congress? And I pulled the January card. That will be, or we hope will be, the transition of power to Kamala and Walz. And so I feel like in the new administration is when we're going to start to see charges. I believe they're ready to go, though, and the emotion of the people in question is high. Do the Democrats in Congress have a plan to thwart off possible cyber attacks to their sites on social media? Do they have a plan? I believe yes, there is a plan. You have the 10 of Swords reversed, reversing an attack. It could be a surprise attack in the future, and it has to do with secrets and spies. For entertainment purposes only, what do I know? But I do believe they might have spies or people in the dark places. We'll just keep it at that, in the shadows, who are trying to ward off a possible cyber attack. And the ending speaks of that also. Here is my card for surprise or things out of the blue, Page of Swords reversed. And it's next to the Tower card. So a surprise attack. And then I get the 4 of Swords is in repose. There could be a sleeping surprise attack. They're ready for it. They're ready for that. There's a sense of self-protection here. So they do have people in the shadows to ward off things like that. It's interesting, though, that it ends with a surprise attack, meaning, yes, we have protection, but when things catch you by surprise, when they find loopholes, I mean, there's always some way someone can come up with to twist things around. But I would say that they're as protected as they absolutely can be with the technology and information that they have. How is Usha Vance feeling these days? Let's take a look. Usha is not feeling very happy lately. She feels that they have been delayed in getting their energy out there and creating this new beginning. They have not been good out the gate. Justice is against them. She feels like this isn't fair. It's not fair for my husband, for Vance. He has been unfairly attacked. He can't defend himself. It's not fair. The 7 of Wands reversed. And in conclusion, she's very frightened, I guess, because this is a card of secrets, the 7 of Swords. It's my shenanigans card. Whatever those secret shenanigans are that are in Vance's closet, she feels that they will be exposed. So there's a little bit of fear there. And that could really upset and tarnish the family home The happy family, the Four of Wands, the coming together, the celebration, the home. And she's afraid that things that might be revealed and those shenanigans would upset that and tarnish that vision or that vision. Maybe it's even the vision that not just she's spinning for other people, for the GOP, but that she's spinning for herself. That this was her ticket, that this happy, perfect family life could actually exist. And here's the great big old tower. See you later. It's crumbling. The vision of perfection has been crumbled, and she feels all the secrets are tumbling out. Usha is not feeling very good these days. Is Trump staying out of sight because he has been advised of Iran or others who have plans to hurt him? This is for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's take a look. I'm not feeling he's being advised of Iran or others who have plans to hurt him. Keep in mind, there are always threats against a president or a former president. That's why they have Secret Service. And there are crazy people out there. There's foreign nations, national security, right? There's always some bad actors out there that you have to protect your leaders from. I'm not getting that he is in any kind of imminent danger because of such things that they would have to advise him to stay out of sight. All right. So I don't feel like that's the reason. What I get as a reason is my Page of Swords is reversed. This could be a surprise attack, but that's not the meaning I'm getting from this card. This is also my card for stuttering, or when something hits you by surprise and you can't speak well. And I think that it really comes down to the media. When Trump gets thrown a curveball, a question from the media, or something in the rallies, anything like that, that he isn't prepared for, they're afraid of what he will say. Either he can't speak eloquently, things with his speech, it isn't coming out correctly. They're worried about that. They're worried about how he looks. They're worried about his spontaneity with speech. He has been advised to stay out of sight because they don't know what's going to come out of his mouth with this card. Okay. Have the Three of Pentacles reversed. This has something to do with his donors. I believe that this is my dark money card. I think people who are supporting Trump financially are very worried about what comes out of his mouth, and they are behind why they are advising him to stay out of sight. So they are the power behind that decision. Then you have the Ten of Swords. His campaign has fallen apart. This is the card of ruin and betrayal and death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, he's fallen apart here. This campaign has fallen apart. And I feel like the donors are really worried about that. When I look ahead, here he is. He's the Hermit. Let's try to keep this guy out of sight as long as we can. They are very, very worried about losses, but I'm very struck with this Three of Swords again, because this is my issue with heart problems. I am feeling that Trump's health isn't that terrific. And they also want to keep that under wraps. Okay, there's something here with his heart or circulatory system. They're trying to keep that under wraps. And the Page of Cups is reversed. And this is a sense of neediness. Everybody needs to love me. Everybody loves me. Everyone, I need everybody to love me. And this is just going to lead to losses and health issues. And there's a lot going on here. But he's best to be the Hermit right now. I think a lot of it's about what he can say and the fact that his campaign is in complete chaos. So let's get him off the stage. Let's make a new plan. Let's regroup. That seems to be more what's going on here. That is my video today with your questions that were on my community board. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share my videos with all your friends. As always, I really appreciate your support and comments. Until next week, you all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.